The U.S. is going to be the crypto capital of the world, according to Donald Trump. But how do we get there? How have things been changed to help XRP or other U.S. assets do well in the U.S.? Wow, this movie is great. Over the last 6 months, there have been a lot of changes. This report will talk about the steps the Trump government has taken to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Pay attention, we'll go over it. When you need it, I'll give you the background. Let's begin here. Our leader has promised that the U.S. will become the world center for cryptocurrency. He chose AI and crypto experts to be the head of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets and the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. These individuals are all strong fans of crypto. Everyone in his cabinet has said that they personally own Bitcoin. His treasurer, secretary of commerce, and secretary of labor are all big fans of crypto. This is likely why they work so hard to get people to use Bitcoin. This cryptocurrency is the biggest one. Yes, it would be great if they started to talk about or promote any of these American-made coins like XRP, HBAR, Solana, or any others. That the heads of the SEC, CFTC, FDIC, OCC, and SBA all backed crypto very strongly. This is the exact opposite of what the Biden administration did. The Congress did the same thing. There is a lot of support for crypto from the heads of the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, and the Digital Asset Subcommittees. Crypto is now backed by most members of both parties in Congress. This is the exact opposite of what we've seen for the last 4 years. Don't forget that the SEC and FINRA put out a statement in 2019. In 2021, the OCC made a similar statement. In 2022, the Fed made a similar remark. Everything there said the same thing. Cryptocurrency cannot be kept by banks. It can't be traded by banks. It's not going to hold. They can't take part in any way. And this stopped working because the Biden government got involved with crypto banking. The OCC released a report on March 7th. The Fed did the same in April, and the SEC and FINRA did the same in May. And all three changes got rid of the rules that were in place before. Thank you very much. Now that there are no rules against it, banks can deal with crypto in the same way they deal with everything else. In other words, they can deal with crypto the same way they can deal with money, stocks, and bonds. Hey, Department of Labor, do you remember when Fidelity said that all of its 401k accounts would be able to buy Bitcoin? Fidelity is the largest 401k company in the United States. Right away, the Department of Labor sent out a warning saying that any 401k plan that does that would be looked into by the Employee Benefits Security Administration and the right steps would be taken. This scared every 401k plan in the country and threw out the LOD's plans to add Bitcoin to 401k. This is one reason why the crypto space hasn't really grown over the last few years. The biggest change will come from letting 401k buy in Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and a few other carefully chosen assets. I think the price of some assets, like XRP, can go from a few dollars to dozens, $50, or even $100. Or even more. This could be a huge deal for everyone if you could put in $500 billion or $1 trillion worth of value and get some kind of boost in return. In 2022, that happened. The Department of Labor took back that warning. The video is good. Your 401k holding clients will now be able to invest straight in Bitcoin. It was added to the S&P 500 by the SEC in May. After all this time, you think that Coinbase is now big enough to be in the top 500 businesses. As you may know, a company is added to the S&P for the first time when their assets reach a certain level of value. That would want you to put Coinbase where? 400, 450, or 475? It scored 157. The S&P finally agreed to let Coinbase join. What took them so long? Because they didn't want cryptocurrency in the list. They have completely changed their minds. Then there's Jamie Dimon, who in 2019 said, "I'd fire anyone who trades Bitcoin in a second." They're not smart. He told them that they would be able to buy Bitcoin in May. If you listen to bank CEOs, for example, they might say what you want to hear, right? If Jamie Dimon wants to buy this asset easily off the open market, he will do everything he can to bring down the price so that either the bank buying it or a customer buying it can do so. Jamie Dimon has talked about a lot of different things in this way. I don't want to talk about how many billions of dollars Chase has been fined for doing things like this, but it is normal for some of these bigger banks to spread false information about the market. Behind the scenes, they buy a lot of it. It was said that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF could be used as collateral for a loan. Jamie replied, I stand up for your right to Bitcoin. This is the most extreme reverse. Wow. The president wants to set up the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, which we know. A lot of people don't know that 28 other states are also trying to do the same thing. 2 of them have already done what the law says. There are 65 million people in the U.S. who own it. 83% say they firmly believe in this technology for a long time. 72% of those who answered say this will be an important part of their plan. 69% of them want to buy more in the next 2 or 3 years. They will do it without you if you don't let them. They're not going to wait for you. They are not going to depend on you. And among millionaires, 83% of youth own cryptocurrency. Teenagers are the subject of a study by T. Repriest. I asked them, what would you buy with $100 0 cents? 57% said they buy crypto, but only 38% said they buy stock. Also, you have to think that a lot of old parents are leaving their kids money, right? No one stays alive forever. That hasn't been made yet, or someone hasn't told me if it has. To be fair, though, trillions of dollars will be given to younger people. Also, what do the young people want to do? They need to buy cryptocurrency. It's the most important thing here. It's 38% to buy stocks, 57% off to buy crypto. With crypto regulation in place, anyone in the U.S. will be able to buy, own, and likely store crypto at their bank. This will make people believe it even more. Remember that we've been beaten up in the crypto area for the last 4 years. A lot of people don't trust the business. A lot of scams exist. A lot of people don't want to be here. But once rules are put in place and people are in charge of them, they can help the business grow in the US and around the world. There aren't enough people who know how much money is going to come into the space. And I can tell you that most people will be shocked. 95 to 90% of people will be shocked. You are the other 5%, though. You won't be surprised because you did your study, which is why you're here. As the first person to arrive, you will also be the first person to leave early if and when everything works out. More than half said that engaging in crypto is the way of the future. Blockchain technology is being used by billionaires, endowment funds, pension funds, and hedge funds. More than half of those groups said that blockchain is the future of investment. Rich people. Okay, rich people. Okay, how about trust funds for crypto? That's why schools and colleges. Putting pension savings on crypto. There are pension plans in South Korea, Michigan, Houston, Fairfax County, Virginia, and Jersey City. That means they work for the government that can now put their money into Bitcoin and, I'm sure, other crypto investments. Half of crypto hedge funds and 3/4 of family offices own crypto. And when the Bitcoin ETFs came out, every public company had to say if they were going to allocate or not. As soon as the Bitcoin ETF went public in the first quarter of 2014, over 900 public companies said, we own those ETFs. Every 3 months, the number goes up. BTC is already used by 90 public businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning. This is just the start. Executive orders are what we have now, like what Trump has done. Let's go over all of this again in case you missed it. Since he took office in January 2025, there have been clear regulations and executive orders putting together a U.S. crypto strategic store in March 2025.